Hey, that guy. Today, we are looking at Picard characters. Viewer's choice. You guys get to pick. There's been, there was a show called Picard, 3 seasons. Don't know if you saw it. Maybe you have. I don't know. But they had characters. Yeah. Oh, apparently you have no audio. What? What? We're working on it, guys. Relax. We know. I had video issues. I still do. And he has sound issues, and it's not. Okay, guys, we understand Sam has no audio. You don't need to tell us 15 times. Thank you.
Yeti. Okay, I went from default to Yeti, even though the last time I was broken, I went from Yeti to default. As I was saying, Picard, lots of characters, lots of shows, but this is our next in our series of Ranked. We've got Prodigy, Lower Decks, Stranger Worlds to do left. This, of course, is all 3 seasons. And it's fair to say, Stuart, that they are 3 radically different seasons of television in terms of vibe, quality, and Trekness. So, as to account for other times we've done this, there'll be variants within characters. You can ask for the season 1 version of Picard versus the season 3 version, the arguably pathetic old man versus the strong leader-ish. There is some variety in a theme here. And as with other lives, especially with ships as well, we'll be reviewing it exclusively on their appearances in this show. So, if only one season of Picard had happened and Data was only in those 2 episodes, that'd be it. But it's just their shows. We're not including TNG or Legacy Knowledge, etc. So that'll be interesting.
Yes, indeed.
So
yeah, Olivia, $2. No sound, Sam. We got it worked out. So anyway, share it, guys. Share the video around. Like the video. You know the routine. Hit the like button. It's easy. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure the bell notification icon is hit to all, and do all the things you need to do. You can join the channel as well. There's a join option down there on YouTube, or you can head over to Patreon/Trekyards. That's another way to help us out. And yeah, you guys know the routine. Also, super chat in with your picks for characters from Picard. It'll be fun taking this ride with you guys. You guys always pick ones that we never would have thought of. So, thank you, Dan. Also, there are links down below to the Teespring and the TeePublic store, so please make use of those. Check those out. TeePublic's great. It's got a lot of really good stuff. Not just Trekyard stuff. Oh my God, there's so much more. So, is there a Starfleet series supposed to be happening with Bob Picardo? Christina Long mentioned it on Decom Check. Yes, Bill. It's called Starfleet Academy. It'll have Robert Picardo. It'll have Tilly. It'll have Admiral Vance. It's got quite a few people. Even Paul Giamatti is in it. He's an antagonist or a bad guy. So, yes. How did you not know that? We've talked about it quite a bit. But yeah, it's a spin-off, basically, of Discovery, because it happens in the future. And yeah, I think it'll be great. Well, I hope it'll be great. I think it'll be as good as they can do. We talked about it yesterday in our State of Trek of 2025 video. So Anywho's. Yes. So anyway, yeah. So by all means, super chat in with your picks for Picard characters. Looking forward to seeing what you guys pick, and we will definitely talk about it, rank it. You guys can move them on the board, all the things. You know the routine. It's the same as always. Nothing's changed.
But I think there's a really broad spectrum of quality in these characters. I don't know if there'll be a lot of, in comparison to TNG or Enterprise, there's a lot of mediums. I think there's a lot more strong feelings on the characters because there's only so many. But there's always a reason for them or whatnot. The many Sojis and Dajas and
Forget Sutra.
Don't forget Sutra. And many I'm sure you forgot about as well because.
Well, yes. Haven't gone back to rewatch Picard. I'm going to be honest.
No. And we are going to look at the, like I said, season 1, 2. They're all a bit different. How they're framed, different showrunners, different vibes. I want to approach them differently. I mean, 7 from season 1 is unrecognizable to season 3, right? But yes, super chat right now. Let's bring people in and let's talk about them. Who do we have?
No, Bill, I have not yet. Anyway, not a band account, $5. Raffi is an exemplar of modern Trek. She spoke truth to JL's privileged perspective. Her former drug addiction helped, and she's Worf's protege.
So I'm going to curveball and go in chronological order for these. So that's obviously Raffi. The first Raffi I want to look at is the flashback Starfleet Raffi. It was the first chronological Raffi we ever looked at. Because, there are some different Raffis, right?
I don't think that's fair.
But she's good in this scene. And looks great in that uniform which they invented for this. So, Stuart, of this scene, what do you remember of Starfleet Raffi?
Can I see the board yet?
Not yet. Well done for reminding me. Oh, bam. Starfleet Raffi. Oh, things moved.
I don't remember much.
So, I'll jump on this one. Starfleet Raffi, I thought, was played very well. I think she had good vibes, good energy. JL was a little bit obnoxious, but didn't overplay it. She suited the uniform really well. Looked very neat, proper. I totally buyed her as being a commander. And she straight-laced really well. So I'd give this Raffi a pleasant B, because she was right out of TNG with a bit more personality.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, I'll go with that. B's good for her, because I guess.
Yeah. So I want to give respect for the different versions, because they vary a bit.
A bit?
I was about Picard seasons 1, 2, or only 3. All the Picard.
All of Picard.
The Spectrum.
Yes.
Oh, so let's do a goal and a poll, which sound very like. Let's do. Yeah.
Yes, indeed, guys. Let us know who you want us to talk about. Let's see what I did there. I said a boot. All right, so I'm just doing some adjustments here. All right, yeah, I mean, there's great seeing some of these TNG characters back and being different than TNG, obviously, because this is years later. Picard didn't start off super strong, but hey, we'll talk about that when we get there.
For better and worse. But I started a poll, Stuart, if you want to read that out.
Best Picard characters, legacy characters, and new characters.
Ooh. And speaking of, let's look at a hybrid character while you guys put in your submissions. The villain herself.
Vadic.
Vadic! Thank you. Had to remember her name there. Vadic, changeling, so she's kind of legacy. Kind of legacy in a sense. She's a Dominion War era changeling. the villain of season 3, forgotten about near the end. She's just some lady that does bounty hunting until she isn't. And the daughter of a famous actor, and she was in Pulp Fiction. Didn't really know her before this. Something her most memorable role in my eyes. What are your thoughts on Vadic? Now we're looking at them in this context of all of Picard.
She was a good, interesting villain, actually. The way she kind of carried herself was quite unique and menacing. And yeah, I think it was very finely acted. But it was something that came in like a wrecking ball and kind of went out with a bit of a whimper, unfortunately. There wasn't much of a... She was important until she wasn't. And then she just kind of went away. But I did like her take on being a villain. She did, like I said, something about her just is creepy and off-putting a little bit, and that's good. That's what you want. So I think as far as villains go, she's definitely one of the best of Picard. Trying to think what other villains are in Picard now that I said that. Anyway,
I mean, Ice. Yep. Anyway, yeah, she is pretty good. She's kind of... One note's the wrong term, but she's on a single track. But the track is well performed. It's interesting. It would have been nice had they done a bit more. I mean, we talked about at the time a flashback to her breaking free of the lab. You're seeing first contact of uniformed people doing a bit of Dominion War, and see her back in that point would have been really production value adding. If you're being fancy, you could have, really fancy, or green screen. You could add a escape Daystrom and then kill everyone in Defiant class and she takes over. Like, you could have done some extra stuff to really bring her up. But yes, pretty good. Certainly compared to the female changeling, there's no comparison, but that's because she hasn't got the weight of command. She's a chaos meter, right? She'll kill you, but you could probably outsmart her. And that's okay. Whereas female changeling, it's like, yeah, she's like, don't cross her.
Yeah, I really have a feeling I should have rewatched Picard before we did this, because
that's a tall ask, though, in fairness.
I know.
I think on the Picard metric, she should be an A.
Oh, yeah, easily.
But she would not be an A in Grander Trek. Because she's good, but not great.
Yeah, she'd probably be a B, I think. If
exactly.
Villains.
Yeah, exactly. But this is specifically a Picard skew, so I think she earns the near top slot for Picard.
Yeah, that's absolutely acceptable. All right, Sussy Guru 2000 throws in €5. Thank you. Admiral Sheer fucking Hubris.
I knew the name. I appreciate that I remembered her enough to bring this in.
Yep, Admiral Clancy. See, she was supposed to have like a bit of a redemption thing at the end, but they replaced her with Shelby, which would have been with Riker.
Yeah, season 1. She wasn't in season 3.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. So she was supposed to come in and kind of save the day.
Yeah, they filmed it.
Yeah, and it would have been great to see that. I would have appreciated her more as a character after that. But honestly, the way she treats Picard is awful. He spoke out against the Federation. Whoop-de-doo. I mean, people have the right to do that when they don't agree with things. He's also still a legendary captain in his own right and deserves a little bit of respect. And she did not grant him that at all. She didn't even want to really listen to him. As far as like the Admiralty is concerned, I guess he's too far gone. You can't. Yeah, I mean, speaking out against Starfleet, how dare you, sir? But at the same time, I don't think she really broached the subject so well, the way she spoke to him. So very un-Admiral-like, I think.
Yeah, I feel like this scene has changed a bit in my context. In the original watch, it's so out of left field and so pointedly middle finger to both the fans, to Picard, to the legacy of Star Trek. And it was going to have a point at the end, as you say, right? She was going to come in, show she was wrong, probably apologize and have a closing scene to kind of, because you have an arc, right? So you can go low if you raise it, but if you remove that, then she's a microcosm of a bygone. Doesn't make sense. So that's unfortunately a problem in her character. But I guess I'm less inclined to be as negative to her. I've seen a lot of different arguments on her, right? This guy comes in, he's going a bit all in and he's expecting her to help, but the fact that she goes straight to a very un-Starfleet personal attack vibe is so uncharacteristic of an admiral. But you don't know their history. The fact that she can be that personal with him implies that she instantly feels comfortable to just middle finger him and not think about it, which is such an interesting thing, right? You rarely get that. Even Nechayev and Picard, there's still formality in their scenes, but there's still a camaraderie. So you wonder what happened here, how much Picard is a dick, whatever. I don't know, but it's just such a jarring sequence that, I mean, it's a meme. It's one of the biggest memes in Picard, right? For a very good reason. But she comes across terribly, and to think she became CNC is somewhat laughable, given how she acted in her one scene, right? But who knows what Picard done around that? So it's kind of it's a weird scene. You kind of have to infer a lot to make it work better. But on the surface, it's really kind of a horrid scene.
Yeah.
But it's meant to be, right? But I think as an admiral, I don't buy her as an admiral. I'm barely as a Starfleet officer. So I would be either D or F, just based on those metrics. How she's presented and how she acts it, I just... there's so many good admirals, and she is not a good admiral, and she doesn't come across well. I mean, you compare her to the Admiral Cornwall from Discovery. From Discovery, different character, different vibe, but she sells admiral to a T. This lady does not. And she's CNC. She's head of everything. She's the most responsible person for the big space military vibe, right? That's amazing. And she's really a low-tier admiral. Your thoughts?
Agree with everything you said. I forgot she was CNC, if I'm honest.
The most important person.
Which would have made the ending with her coming in being really good, because that's how she rallied got the whole fleet. Yeah, unfortunately we didn't get that. I would have appreciated the character a lot more had that happened, but based on that one scene, it's just the disrespect is just palpable.
Although I wonder what bridge they shot the scene on, because they filmed it with her coming in before they filmed Riker. It was on Discovery Bridge. I doubt they thought, because given how rushed that ending was with Riker, and how piss poor the art design of that scene was, did she film on the La Serena? I can't imagine. I wonder what they did, because we've never seen clips of it, right? It's never been revealed anyway. But I wonder what they filmed on to make a Starfleet bridge, or was it just her office, and she's just coming in, which is not very interesting. I don't know.
I need to rewatch the scene again to see, because I think she's not approachable at first, but she's at least willing to hear him out, and she does listen to him, and then it's giving you a ship, really?
Well, yeah, he humours her like an old man, even though she's clearly pretty damn old as well. So okay, yeah, she humours him like an old man and goes to 11. When you'd think he'd just trust Picard, he's done enough. So I still think she's a DRF because she's just handled really poorly in a bad scene.
She's in a D, I would
Okay.
say. I don't think she deserves F.
Yeah, there are worse characters, but I guess it's more the scene she's in is really bad. It's memorable, but for all the wrong reasons, right? Now, had it been Shelby or Janeway...
Yeah.
Oof.
I wonder if they would have written her different if they knew it was only going to be this scene.
Yeah,
'Cause I think with the redemption thing, they
100%.
think... Yeah.
Yeah. Or had they known they were going to do season 3? as in the way they structured the storyline.
Why didn't they bring her back? I mean, yes, I understand replacing her with Will Riker for the end of season 1, but they should have brought her back.
I'd have been interested to see her in season 3. Yeah. Just to kind of fix the scene. You can always improve things or worsen things by doing more content.
Yeah, have her show up with Rolaren later.
Yeah.
That would have been interesting. Anyway.
Yeah. Or, as someone pointed out, have her be a changeling retcon.
Yeah, well, that's the next super chat I was going to read.
Not the actual changeling, but one of the 12, I think there was. Would have been a lovely retcon. Really, really good.
Yeah. So yeah, General Grievous, $2. Should have retconned her, replaced by a changeling.
Like if I read ahead. Yeah, would have been a great shout. Interesting. Do you have anyone from the preset stuff you want to submit for the wonderful fan submit?
I mean, there's a couple versions of this guy as well, but Rios.
It's the season 1 version?
Well, any version of Rios I really like. He was the best new character for me out of all of them. Plus, we have to take into account all of his holograms as well. They have different personalities, but...
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about them all, but...
Yeah.
Fair.
I really liked his previous Starfleet officer. You know, he's now like a pirate of sorts. And throws off a little bit of Han Solo vibe. I liked his attitude. I liked the cigar. I liked the whole thing. And
this is season 1. Season 3 was in a uniform, so
yeah, very well acted. And even when he got captain in season 3, I mean, still like the guy. I wish his fate wouldn't have been what it was. I mean, sure he was happy, but goddamn, don't leave somebody back in time. What the hell is that all about? So that kind of pissed me off a bit. But no, I think well acted. He definitely, and even his holographic counterparts, they were all acted differently. Like he knew what he was doing, and yeah, it'd definitely be somebody that I would want in kind of command of me anyway. Small crew, but I like him. He's kind of a swashbuckler. I like that.
I would say though that the season 1 him is not as good as the. Like he's very good as the he's very good as the captain of the Stargazer. He really zones into that. So that's a different persona, right? Here he's swashbuckling, but he's definitely one of the bright spots of that season. I can't remember a ton of stuff he does in season 1.
I can't either.
He's just sort of... I mean, he's there in every episode doing stuff, but I can't remember... Like, his ensemble... I mean, he's the captain, right?
Yeah.
But the captain's not the meat of that story. Even the council of hymns, he's not normally in those scenes. If I recall, because... So I can't remember his actual story arc in season 1. I guess... Not fancying there, but liking the Admiral still, having that purity... And then fixing the ship at the end with the magic device, which they never talk about again.
Which looked like the Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
The little flute thing, yeah.
So is his lack of memorability meaningful? As in for things he did, right?
Well, no, because I do remember that when we reviewed or watched season 1, he was like, I was always kind of talking about him. He was the standout for me as far as characters went. The rest were kind of a little bit two-dimensional or a little bit lacking in their development a bit. He, I found, wasn't. Like, you bought into his backstory with Starfleet and,
turns out charismatic people make for interesting watches.
Yeah.
Shocking.
So,
I think you'll want to give him an S. I want to give him an A so that we have some room to go up. That'd be my argument there.
That's fine. I wasn't thinking S necessarily.
Okay.
For me, he's one of the best things about Picard, especially season 1.
Yes. Well, the bar is he's on a sliding scale, right? He's not great in season 2, even though, well, he's great on the Stargazer, but the past stuff, he's just sort of there. I guess he's more there for the small scenes, not the big story. Because I'm trying to think if he does anything.
They kind of did. They didn't write very well for his character after a certain point, which is a bit of a shame. So.
Yeah.
And Sesiguru 2000 throws in €10 and says the Romulan incest siblings.
Yes.
Well, here's one of them.
Narissa. And what have you forgotten the guy's name? Narek. There you go. I mean, she's very pretty in a kind of sharp way. I wouldn't mind seeing the human her on a red carpet. But she was a. She was in Starfleet kind of, and didn't. It was such a fun reveal. She was Starfleet, like helping. Like if they actually gave Picard a ship, and she was on the ship as a officer, and then it turned out she was a Romulan.
Yeah.
Great twist. Like she's Raffi's, like best friend 2 removed, and then banishes a Romulan mid-season. Cool. You don't need her in that regard. She's a tribute enough, right? And she died by being kicked into a hole in a girl boss fight, which isn't particularly well done. It's okay, but what else did she do?
I don't remember.
Oh, she
It's
was
so sad. It's so sad I don't remember.
And we covered that series to death. That we were all over that. It was the first modern canon Trek, first person nemesis. She. Oh, I had a second ago. She was Shujat Vash, of course. She did the ceremony. Her aunt all went crazy and destroyed a ball cube. She went to the artifact. God, it's such a long time ago this shit happened. And it's so unmemorable. She must have something in the middle of the season, though. She must have.
Actually, I don't think that she did, really. I don't know. That's the problem.
Because I'm pretty sure her Starfleet reveal was episode 2, if not 1. She got to the artifact by 4, if not 3. Was she just pissing around the artifact for 3 episodes? Maybe.
Probably.
Whereas Narek was doing stuff every episode, right? He was always in the same set, rooms.
But at least, well, let's speak to him.
He's always there.
About him for a minute. Yeah, he's kind of got 2 sides to him. Obviously, he's got the side that's kind of romancing.
Wait, he's got 2 names.
Oh, shut up. Got the side that's kind of romancing Dodge or Soji. Was it Soji? I don't fucking even remember. Jesus Christ.
He comes in so much. We did 2 videos a day for the first episode. 2 a day!
Blocked it out of my brain.
But your brain did.
Oh, Fleetpod just upgraded their membership to Captain. Thank you, Fleetpod.
Oh.
I'm glad you're here. I have no fear now, all of a sudden.
Oh, wow, that's excellent. We need a new ship for the thing. Thanks so much.
Yeah, but I remember liking him. I thought he was, and he came off as nice because he was just trying to play her and get on her good side. And even when he became a little bit evil, flying the little snake-headed ship thing that he was flying, he was still good. It was, I think, I don't even know, man.
Yeah, well,
he ice skate. Well, he didn't ice skate. He slid.
But it was cute. It was cute.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a relatively interesting character, and then he was locked in a cell and never mentioned again.
Yay.
In clear reshoots of like, oh, but we don't want to do anything. Oh, God, I'm skipping through the season. God.
Oh, yes, please do, because Fleetpaw throws in $2. Captain Swiftback on deck. Captain, you just outranked Commander Calkins, so.
And then you get to have be in the same club as Stuart.
Yes.
Special club. This is tricky because she's more interesting to me, conceptually, right? High-end assassin, spy, killer Romulan. He's more interesting character. But his character was being gentle, subterfuge lover boy. But it was more interesting.
It was, yeah. I would rank him higher because he had more screen time as well than she
So
did.
much more, yeah. Wow, this is difficult. What are you vibing for each of them? I don't know until you start talking what I'm going to vibe. And I'm scrolling and they're barely in the first 5, by the way. I mean, he's an okay, but...
He... Oh, my God.
Was at one point did they pretend as if he was on her side? Because I'm scrolling and I think maybe at one point we meant to think that he was actually going to help her. I don't know.
I believe so. I'm kind of debating whether to put him in B or C, and then I'll determine where she goes.
Well, this is all of Picard, right? And season 3 obviously suddenly will spring to life the more interesting character. I think it's probably a fair bet to make him a C and her a D. Because I don't think he'll get into B. We stop putting other Bs in. Yeah. I think... Yeah.
Alright, we'll slap him in C. Put her in D. Alrighty.
Very tricky one, actually. Yeah, 1870, he didn't. But that's because we're seeing, the subterfuge. Oh god, sunglasses. Jesus, I forgot about that. Oh god. And then episode 7, they just go into Nepenthe and skip the main plot. It's like, oh, it's the best episode because it's got the TNG cast. And fuck it, they're all retired. And then season 3, undo that.
That was also like the last. That was an addition. That episode. That's
when the change started changing. Narissa throws a little dart into the guy from TNG's neck, kills him. It's like, what? But Hugh? What? Is that it? He's in 9 scenes and.
Oh, poor Hugh. Yeah.
Oh, this was a waste of his character. You pricks. What's the point in that?
Well, are you seeing anything else in your skim through?
I mean, lots. Well, I feel like this Romulan, the aunt's actually a lady from a show I like. Just much bigger face, but it was a while ago.
Bill Barkley, tomorrow is ships, not today.
Oh no, the Clancy's in 2 episodes. She's in episode 8 of our hologram.
Really? I do not remember that.
Yeah, I'm watching it right now.
Well, there you go. And now you know.
Oh wow. Yeah, he called her a waste of space, and then she said, "Shut the fuck up," and then supported him.
Who called her a waste?
He called her a waste of space, and then she said to shut the fuck up as she's going to support him.
Wow. Oh yeah, okay.
In the chateau set, because they're like, "That's the best thing. Let's give him a chateau." It's because the same set from earlier in the season. Because budget, even though we're going to spend $6 million on giant space flowers. Let's do that. This is a good use of money.
All right, moving on.
Yes.
Fleet Paw, $5. Sam, I'll talk to you about ships later.
Yes.
I have a plan, and it's almost in place. I just need a few more paragraphs. LOL. Excellent. Excellent.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Mark Lawrence, $5. I've got to go with Hugh. It was great seeing him again, and played by Jonathan Del Arco too. Yeah, it was great to see him back and see what happened to the character, and then all of a sudden he dies, and it was really sad. And it's like, why are you doing that? At least they got the actor back, as you said. Didn't do that with everybody that they could have. But no, I
he looks great for his age, whatever his age is.
I enjoyed his scenes as well. Like, he did a really good job, and just a nice guy that you feel sorry for. So, oh my goodness, I got none.
Yeah, tricky one, because he's there. He's a decent taking him through the cube, but he's just kind of, he's there, then he's not there anymore. But good costume, good makeup, very dark hair considering all the trauma went through, but I guess, it's a choice. But I don't know if he adds much. Like, although it's kind of slightly odd that they introduced the idea of, the entire season of 1 wraparound Borg is that we're trying to bring back lost drones and want to make them live again, and then in season 3 we're just going to blow up the biggest cube ever with drones aboard and not care.
Yeah.
Not even a partial second thought, even though the entire thing in season 1 was, all X-Borg, yes, if all worked, yes, destroy the cube, blah! I mean, what are you going to do, right? But, they're not even thinking. So these big arcs just entirely dropped. Which I guess you could argue these thinking arcs thrown away for shooty arcs, but it wasn't particularly well done either. Especially as Janeway and Seven pretty much were rehabilitated fine. Okay, no, their arms cut off, but modern medicine, right?
I just want to point out too that for everybody watching, this isn't just Picard season 1, which just seems to be what you guys are focusing on.
I mean, they're interesting. They're more likely to be confusing characters to talk about.
Well, I think for bringing back a quote-unquote legacy character, I think they did a good job with that. I think it was handled well until it wasn't. But she wouldn't have died. But, I mean, you have to have some emotional punch, I guess, here and there, especially in darker Trek.
But it would have been great to bring back in season 3, especially. I could have seen that been a really interesting oomph.
Yeah.
I would still consider him average, though, in it. Nothing particularly amazing.
It's not the biggest part either, you know?
No. I mean, high C, low B, if you're being a bit generous, I would say. If C being sort of average and B, A, and S starting to get into special stuff. Because, you know, he just did the scenes as written. Low B?
Sure.
Better than Narek. I would say less good than Raffi.
It was more of a delight to see than Narek because we knew this character, so
Yes.
it's kind of some of that nostalgia that's going on there.
Yeah. It burrs.
Next up, we've got Fleet Paw with $5. Thank you so much. Oh, and we have our goal too, don't we?
Yes. And a poll.
We need 5 more people in the next 2 minutes. We're trying with $5 to hit our goal, and we're going to throw a pizza party.
Well, someone is.
I mean, I might. We don't know.
Who knows?
Anyway, Fleet Paw, thank you. Icheb, he gets an F simply for the fact he was brought in and to be slaughtered, as well as it being recast. Yeah. Oh, that's a great picture. Thank you.
Well, you know, it's the only kind of picture. Yeah, just an unfortunate situation of not being Icheb and her murdering him. And it had so little relative power, considering what it really meant. I mean, not that necessarily Manu doing it would have been better, as in, it's not a lot to work with. If you bring him back, it should have been more meaningful a role. Like, had he been someone she saved, and then throughout the season, would have been amazing to see, like, you've got... Actually, that would have been, gosh, as if they thought it through. Like, having 3 sides, or 4 sides of the Borg coin, right? X-Borg. You've got the chaotic good, Seven, who's out of Starfleet. The good, each have in Starfleet and doing a good job, nice and straight-laced. Hugh, out of Starfleet, reasonably medium, doing okay. And then Picard, X-Borg, who's having all PTSD flashbacks. You could have had 4 very different sides of X-Borg. And each of was like, he's doing it. He's succeeding. Instead, you kill him off for no real reason in a scene that has no real weight, even though it should.
F.
Yeah, don't be murdering your characters. And you can't bring him back, right? You just. You know.
That was universally hated by everybody, so.
Yep.
Nobody thought that was a good idea.
It was not, no.
I mean, somebody did, but they were wrong.
Yeah. Don't be making a lot of sense. Good shout, though. That's an interesting one to...
Yeah, that was a good one.
And yeah, season 1, man.
Welcome to trailer.
We're having to really think.
It's just been so long, and I don't know why it's so blanked from my memory. I can usually remember stuff like that. It's just... It's that PTSD, that Picard PTSD I keep talking about, where everything's dragged out for multiple episodes, and it's just like, just move on. I think it scarred me. I really do. So, just
always back in the chateau, always back in that same box room, always back in the same box corridor.
I was being pathetic and miserable old man.
Somehow Picard exploding off a roof and then not being hurt whatsoever.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And me thinking it's probably some sort of level of concussion and it's very clever. Nope, just fine. 102-year-old being destroyed off a roof. Imac syndrome comes in. They dies. Cool. There's a robot. Cool.
Stop talking.
But it's such an interesting. But it's interesting because look, we've got 2 Bs and a C on the board. Well, no. So they have not got some. They've not got some interesting people. Yes. It's interesting. Making me really think. All right, who do you want to... Oh, I guess I should throw in one, shouldn't I?
Sure.
All right. There's so many characters, guys. We've only got an hour and 12 minutes left, so put them in. We want to talk about them. We do. All right, let's talk First Legacy of a Giant Way. Commodore Geordie LaForge of Starfleet Museum. Really good. LeVar has a lot of charisma, a lot of presence. He's both a father, a leader, a scientist, a friend, a softie. He brings everything back to everything he does well. It's kind of remarkable actually how well he balances all the aspects. That he can be literally leader of an entire installation and then go back to just being, I'll pilot the D and not worry about it, and I'm happy to do the boring, not the boring, but like the low key job. Great. Mm. And yeah, revives all the data, gets his hand dirty. Really good performance.
I mean, he's come a long way. He's got real eyes now again, I would assume, or really advanced cybernetic.
Yeah,
eyes.
they use the contacts, but they use digital for a lot of it. This was the set photo before the contacts came in.
Gotcha.
Because he just didn't want to do them for real, so the CG. Which is fine.
Oh, a complex guy for sure. Like you said, now he's a father. He's in charge of the museum. He restored the Enterprise.
Yeah, he did. Which really helped them, save the galaxy. So good job. That's
yes.
That's him, right?
Yeah. Yeah. This press photo is depressing because you see stuff in the background that I wanted to see on the show, which we never saw. Because even when he's on the view screen, you don't see all the stuff that's behind him. So I was just teased a little bit. But no, I think having seen him reunited with everybody, and especially his camaraderie, his friendship with Data, was awesome. I love the fact that he's got kids now, and he's a little hesitant to help out Picard as well, but I mean for different reasons than Clancy, I think, because he knew him a lot better. So, there's nothing really stand outy in my mind for him except for the restoration of Enterprise D, obviously. Even on that final mission, there wasn't much that. I don't want to give him too high, unfortunately. I'm thinking a B for him, but I could be talked up, I suppose.
So my gut for him would be an S, because in his short time as one of an ensemble like 8 people, he does all those facets in the character, all of which are growth from TNG, all of which respect him but not make it an easy role, as in he hasn't always gone well with both daughters, etc. Every single thing he does well as an actor, and all of which add to his character and evolve it and show depth. And he does stuff like, say, from the giant leading to the small scale helping. So I think as a character, he ticks every single box, and he's better than Troy, better than Beverly, in of the TNG cast. The amount of stuff he does, like for me anyway, he outacts them all in that season. So he's already the second, like the higher tier of the TNG cast. I think Worf is great. And Worf, this guy does more, right? He has more facets to him in that season.
Well, definitely more facets, yeah. I think Warp made a bigger impact for me and a lot of other people, though.
Yeah, well, he does less things funnier. This guy does a bigger breadth of things. I don't know, that's my gut, right? I just think he's super complex. So looking for character.
No, that's great. We'll put him on this for now.
it can be talked down, but that's just my gut with just how that's how you want a legacy to be treated, right? In terms of like adding.
Yeah.
Whereas like Marina, no offense to Marina, she's not going to be anywhere as high because it didn't do as much with her, and that's not her fault. That's just a lot less to do, and she was doing a play. I thought she was a bit there more, but that's fine. Guys, what do you think?
Didn't know that part.
Yeah, she wasn't available until the last like third of the shoot, which is why she's only in because she just physically couldn't be there. So fair.
But let us know. Should Geordi be in S tier or A tier? Like, what do you think? What do you guys think? I don't just go because he's legacy. He should be S tier.
Which I'm not going to go for everyone else. I think him specifically. That's my gut. I don't know. I think it's very common these days that you make an old character pathetic because we want new characters to be good, and he's one of the few that stands super strong. Like even Worf, right?
That's a good point.
He's awesome, but the fact that he's just an agent living alone, going around alone, it's cool, but it's not particularly wow. Worf, he would be a captain. Would have a wife. Like all these things he could be doing, right? He's not. Beverly spent decades fucking around. Like these things I don't want to see from them. He's the only one. Like you nailed it, right? So
yeah. Okay. We got an S. Yeah. Okay. Next super chat. Fleet Pal with another $5. Thank you so much. Captain Liam somewhere asshole became a substitute for Charm dipshit from Chicago Shaw. I fucking hated him. Then I loved him. I hated him. I hated his death. Yeah, he's a tough one for me because I really do like the guy. I like the character. I like that he stands up to Picard and Riker for just coming on his ship and saying, "Hey, we want to do this," and it's like, no, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I like that aspect of him, kind of that the characters I like Lorca and Stamets season 1 Discovery, kind of the asshole kind of vibe. I like that because I can relate to it. But don't nod your head, yes.
What?
Exactly.
What?
But at the same time, as a captain, he's ineffectual. He's not a good captain because there's so many instances when they were being held by Vedic or when they were in battle that he just broke down. Yes, I get it. He has PTSD from 0359. I love the way he retold the story of how he was one of the ones that was saved and didn't think he should have been.
Oh gosh, imagine if they did actual flashbacks to that.
Right, I know, right?
Oh, build a little bit of set, do some, dye his hair, do a little bit of de-aging, show some shit. Oh god.
So I like the character, and then at the same time I was like frustrated because he's not a good captain. He's not really a friend to his crew. Cares about his ship, I guess, but at the same time there were many moments he could have jumped in, and he was very just let Riker do it, which doesn't fit with when we first saw him, where he's like, no, it's my ship, you're not just taking my ship just because you have seniority and saved the galaxy 15 times. So there's kind of a wishy-washy vibe about him, and that being said, I was sad when he died. I wish that the character would come back. I think I would like to see more of him and kind of dive into that. And I'm sure he had good captaining moments, but the Titan wasn't exact. He even says it himself. The Titan's not made for this. The Titan's not a battleship. It's a science vessel. He's a different kind of captain. And so those situations kind of threw him off a bit. Now, after having talked to Todd Stashwick, again, I'm kind of disappointed.
Few times.
I like the guy, but he's very much a blank canvas when it comes to his characters. Like he does exactly what he doesn't put any of himself into his characters, I don't think. And that's good and bad in my opinion. And when I got all excited to show him something, I showed him and he was like, "Oh, that's kind of cool." But yeah,
Thank you, person who's now on the coming to talk to me. Yes.
So, again, one of the more standout characters in Picard, just for various reasons, but it's very wishy-washy on why. I'll let you talk. I'm going to talk for a little bit, but yeah. Sorry.
No, yeah. Nice to get a Starfleet captain in uniform doing his job. Kind of rare in the 3 seasons of Picard. Kind of nice.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, it's very much like a. It's very much like a Cerritos in that he is a captain on a relatively low tier ship. So that kind of skews. He's not there to do important missions, to do big missions, to do stressful missions. He is a chill, low end cruiser, light cruiser, science missions, close to home, which is all good. You need those ships, not a problem. So he's put super out, and even though the actor gives a lot of like, yeah, but he is out of his depth really quickly, and then literally get, I mean, he gets injured, but he's literally out of the, once Riker kicks in, like he's literally pushed on his own ship, and we had such a problem. I remember reviewing the retrospective of him on the bridge, just standing there, being horrendous. He's not even moving an inch to do anything to help, and that's things that you're just like that. If it was his show, he'd be talking to his crew. This is his crew, remember? There's an entire sequence in TNG, and that's early TNG's, 2-3 years of this crew? He says, and there's those aliens who are the twin characters, and they energize out of the Picard into the, and they give a look, and Worf does the thing on his computer console, and they create a force field to trap them. That's all without saying anything, and that's testament to we know each other. Shaw should know his crew, and be able to do something, and even just that exact scene then failed would have been enough. He doesn't, because he's not okay for this sort of mission. I relate to it. Doesn't mean he's a good captain. So that, he's a captain with flaws. Great backstory. Would have great to see it. And it's definitely the actor that gives it vibe. Had it been many other male actors, it'd be flat. This guy gave it real charm. The fact that he can make no a catchphrase. That's the charm of the actor. The line is just no. That's the actor. So lots of respect. Rios is definitely stronger as a watchable character in season 1. But Shaw is a more interesting character.
Mm-hmm. I kind of want to put him at an A for that very reason.
Yeah.
He's one of the standouts. Like when you mention Picard, he's one of the first ones people talk about.
But
I think it's because his impact was so big at the beginning. People forget kind of how he fizzled out a little bit, and then he died. And it's like, okay, we remember the death scene, and I remember the no scene.
Yeah.
I don't remember him standing there lined up with his crew and everybody else on the bridge while Vatic was there, not doing a goddamn thing.
He's a zeitgeist character. He had some highs, and then...
Yeah.
So I think low A is fair, because of the impact, but I think probably he's weaker. Like, he wouldn't be in a top list for me of captains, but that's not what we're reviewing here. In Picard, he's definitely more of a standout, but that's more of an indictment on Picard than him specifically. No shade. We like him a lot, just.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I would absolutely be fine, like with Andor. Dye his hair, do a prequel. Sure, why not? Be great.
But I mean, some great acting scenes as well. I got to point that out. Like that, his recollection of Wolf 359, the way that was delivered, and the anger that he threw at Picard. I mean, so well done. So.
Yeah, and the turbolift sequence where he's sounding off to all their achievements.
Yeah.
Yeah, the acting is phenomenal. But we've got to value the character as a whole.
Yeah. All right. Ozzy, $5. Picard's father who helped Cylon.
I believe I coined the phrase Gaius Picard.
Gaius Picard. I was just going to use that before you said that.
Not technically a character, because he's a fictitious of the guy's brain.
Yeah. Great actor, fun to watch. Definitely did well. He looked good in the uniform.
Great uniform.
Not really what I thought Picard's dad would be like necessarily, but hey. I don't remember. Was he a psychiatrist? What was he? He was a doctor?
Oh god. Well, he was in this sequence before he knew it was his dad. I don't know if they said what his actual dad did.
Probably an archaeologist or something.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think that. Hey, at least we got the old com badge and a sort of Maurice Picard. Well,
Marty's...
we saw the original version of him in TNG, balding and much older and more depressed. So he did become, because he became a farmer, didn't he? Didn't he?
No, that was his brother Robert.
But I think his brother went his dad's path. He's a native of France.
Yeah, I think that says, yeah.
He's husband of Yvette, father Robert and Jean-Luc. He continued the family business of winemaking under Chateau Picard, labelled Maurice was a very traditional man who did not believe in technology. He was a strong believer in passing on traditions through history. Yeah, because the brother kept the family line.
Yeah. No, I mean, I was pleasant surprised to see him, this actor, I forget his name, coming in to do this role, and I think he did a really good job with it. But it was not a lot of scenes with him, and him as Picard's dad, even less. So.
Also, he's not playing Picard's dad until the last 1 minute of that sequence. You know what I mean? Percentage-wise, right?
Yeah.
I mean, really good scenes. That's some of the best scenes. I mean, season 2, right? Some of the best scenes of season 2 is these ones. Unfortunately, up to the suicide sequence, which is just no. Yeah, really tricky one. Performance, actor, look, vibe, all excellent. Scenes, pretty good. He's not really there. That's got to factor in slightly. And I think you said one is he doesn't feel like the dad, so therefore it's hard to connect the two characters, which is not a positive. But he's meant to. But that's a reveal, right? He's not trying to be the character.
Yeah.
And boy, I'm found the episode, and boy, that uniform is not well fitted.
Oh, it isn't?
Well, I mean, look, it's bunching. The uniform should be crisp and lined. It's bunching. When have you ever seen Voyager when they sit down and it's bunched that way? Oh.
See.
Yeah. I mean, significantly less than Narek in terms of overall time, but really good performance. I really enjoyed when I did the content on it with you, when I found all the screenshots. There's a few frames where you see his uniform. Yeah. I forgot he was in that damn show. God.
You need to go rewatch it. I'm considering rewatching it. And not in a review mindset, just watching it.
But that'd be an interesting re-review series. See how
Let me watch it first before I re-review it.
Sure. But that... I've thought about Discovery Season 1 as well. How would we review it now? With all of the PTSD and all of the shock value gone and all of, everything except what it is laid bare,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think C is fair, but I think lower C. Really interesting.
He's a lowercase c.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got Mark Lawrence with $5. Thank you so much, Mark.
Thank you.
Hero of the Titan, the line cook that pilots the ship. This guy reminds me of my buddy Ash. Looks like him, too.
I do remember him.
I do too. Kind of a snarky attitude, a little bit why am I even here?
Why is he there to be he shouldn't have to do this. That's not fair.
What do you remember specifically? Because
I remember no lines of his.
No.
And that's a problem, but also he's just a textural character, right? He's there because it's okay. I mean, hey, Mammalian, that's cool. Different uniform variant, that's confusing. But given he is just sort of there, although he does pilot the ship.
I didn't remember he was a cook either, so thank you, Mark, for putting that there.
Well, if you look at the piloting, he just kind of goes this way. It's not as if to do this. It's but he does pilot that, Although why isn't Seven doing it, given she's more experienced in every possible field?
Oh, yeah.
Let's let the non-equipped cook do it. When literally who flew a ship a year and a half ago, and I could do it with my eyes closed. Let that guy do it. Because, come on, it's better for me. Oh, we're dead. Oh, that's right.
I don't want to give him an F because I liked him, but I don't want to give him a D because I think.
Yep.
What's her name? Laris. She did way more. So.
Yep. Yep. He's our first lack of character. I mean, I guess D because we don't hate him. I mean, you know.
Yeah, that's fair. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, because you know, we don't not like him. He just doesn't necessarily have much going for him, and that's okay. That's okay.
All right, guys, we're an hour in. We have 28 likes, 31 here. Hit that like button. Let's try to get to at least 30. Keep the super chats coming. There are a lot more characters that we can look at. And
Absolutely.
3 seasons. It's all has seasons.
Ooh, sussy.
Yeah, Sessigura 2000
Wow.
is next with 10 euros. Aboard Queens season 2 and 3.
Wow. That is a very interesting and entirely justified. Because of course the season 2 queen is an alternate universe, human conquered universe queen. So it's not anything to do with Alice Krieg's queen. Great, makes sense, right? Bam. I suppose we get 2 different queens in the course of 2 years. Yeah, crazy.
Well, the actress passed away.
Yes, she did. Alright, your thoughts on this Borg Queen?
I think she was good, honestly. She has kind of a maniacal kind of vibe to her. Kind of homicidal a little bit. And still sufficiently creepy. Calculating. She comes across as very cold and calculating, which is Borg Queen should. So I think she did a really good job. And she you know, helped them reluctantly, but it helped them, and then was still plotting against them, if I recall correctly. No, I think she did a good job doing the duplicitous thing, and talking to Girardi, like the way she was trying to get into her head a little bit. Those scenes are really great. Trying to be a friend, but not obviously. Yeah, I think she did a really good job as a Borg Queen. I don't remember anything else other than that.
Yeah, she's actually a character, which is nice.
Yes.
With some pretty interesting stuff to do. There's certainly varies interesting level, but that's any character. I know, thinking at the time, there's more they could have done with it, but you could sense the rewrites, you could sense the lack of money, you could sense all that stuff in season 2, so it's kind of hard to judge it in that regard. It's a very weird season of television, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, good acting, distinct look, fun to see just hang out in the security room with Girardi in a red dress just chilling out, like the abstractness of that scene. And it probably would have been more fun had she died earlier, and that'd been a big part of the season of her being in the head of kind of like Scorpius from Farscape. That'd have been actually a very, very similar parallel, actually. Would have been, I mean, all those seasons, right? If they had more focus, less going on, more focus on character and straightforward story, they could have done better. But I wouldn't say she's anywhere near as good as Alice Krieg or Susanna from Voyager. Both, I think, really captured the Borgness. She's far more a person.
Alternate universe.
Exactly. And, as they say, she's the last Borg Queen the Collector basically destroyed. Like, there's no voices, right? She's just her. So it makes sense, of course, but I think she's less what I would want to see. What are you vibing? That's a really hard one to review.
At least a B for me.
I'll go B. Yeah, I think B is. Yeah, she's. If I rewatch only her scenes, possibly an A. But the fact I don't remember the scenes tells you that she's not necessarily kicking it as much as everyone in A, basically. Because A, I remember all their scenes for the most part, right? Like I remember more of those scenes, don't I? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
And then Borg Queen for season 3.
The mess that was
super creepy.
Alice Cree's voice not particularly well lip synced with the. But that's okay. Who needs lip syncing?
Things have gone wrong with this lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely pulled off that absolute horror kind of movie villain kind of monster vibe, and extremely creepy. And the makeup's fantastic. I mean, all she did was basically hang there and threaten people. So, what are you gonna do? But no, I think it worked really well, and I love the makeup. Although their cable management is awful. So is mine, though, sometimes. So.
If you stop firing makeup artists, Jack.
Anyway, yeah, not much to say about her, honestly. She's just sufficiently creepy as was meant to be. So, good job.
Yes, effective. Although I don't necessarily think she's. I don't agree with the storyline and that she's the last queen and la 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 la. None of that quite rings true to me. There's loads of Borg and blah 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 and Supercube and blah blah blah. No, I like the idea that she's a queen that got affected more and she took it personal and she planned a plan and there's still other stuff going on. Not the final queen and the final boss, and it's just kind of pathetic. And I mean, I guess it's trying to be, but it's all a bit much. Especially how efficient and sleek. Yeah, if you look at the Voyager set of the Queen's Chamber, it's so sleek and tech, and there's a structure there that even with this, I was like, oh, yeah. I would say C, because I think the character of the other one's better, or the creep factor here is better, but I value character over creep.
Yep.
Okay.
The other one had a lot more screen time, so.
Also had more fun with the role, because she had fun in the role.
Yeah. That actress played a serial killer on The Rookie. And I absolutely hated her. Anyway. And Fleetpaw, $5. Fucking solid, Vatic. Gotta say, I was all excited about the character, but was severely let down. She had a few good one-liners, though.
Severely let down?
I wasn't. See, that's the thing with Vatic. She was really great, and there's this build-up, and it's like, yeah, and then all of a sudden, it's forgotten about. Just gone. It was such a shitty end to a good character build-up.
Well, it's because she's the mini-boss to the real villain.
Yeah.
But you didn't foreshadow the villain at all. Doesn't matter how much. A floating puddle of goo that sort of maybe looks like the Queen if you squint. Doesn't matter how much you say that's the foreshadowing. It is not, if no one's guessing it justifiably, it ain't foreshadowing. Sorry.
Don't be sorry.
Wow.
I'm going to pull one in.
Please do. And guys, vote in the poll. 46 votes. We'd love to get at least 50. Ah, yes.
Commander O.
Great character actor. I like her in a lot of things. Super wasted in this role.
Yes, I like the premise of Romulan infiltrating Starfleet, but to get to the position she was in, damn, that takes some dedication and a lot of time. And it wasn't really resolved because she took off. Did she get captured? Did they destroy her? I don't know, but she's got all of Starfleet's secrets. And let's not forget, the only character in Star Trek to wear sunglasses. Except for Will Riker. But he only wore them, and those behind-the-scenes images, so it's fine. Yeah, she did a really good job with the part. It definitely felt like I bought that she was a Romulan that had been there for quite some time, and she wasn't very imposing at the end, honestly, and she didn't do much. She was very ineffective. Well, she just kind of. I would have expected more from a Romulan that was in that position, and the fact that she knew all the Starfleet secrets, would have known about these ships, would have known all the the prefix codes, everything. She could have really annihilated everything. So it's still a huge loose end in my opinion, but
yeah, she's a. Yes, I get it. Jacques Vache are very important. Yes, I get it. They want to stop the synthetics from killing everything. It's a very important thing. But to give up 40, 50, 60 years in Starfleet...
It's dedication to your job as a spy, I tell you.
Where you ain't taking many days off when you get to a captaincy, when you're doing jobs that... Because she was the head of Starfleet security. She was a Commodore. She raised her ranks. She had to be a captain for probably 5, 10, 15 years to get Commodore. So she might be one of the most well-recognised Vulcan captains in Starfleet. That's all of your life, and you throw everything away with no apparent feeling for this one mission, and you pussyfoot away in a very lackluster thing. Imagine your entire career and life. Because you ain't able to get away if you're a Romulan spy very often as a Starfleet captain. I mean, maybe you could argue she was always planet bound. She always took assignments that, she worked her way in. Maybe, but still.
I have a theory that she took a different track as far as getting to Commodore, because Commodore is not a typical rank.
Geordie, of course.
Most captains go to Admiral, right? So
they reintroduced Commodore for it, kind of thing.
She must have. She probably just did something.
Yeah, like I said, Geordie didn't necessarily do Captain ever, so fine. But yeah, very odd.
Challenger.
Aliens. Yeah, I mean, could have been really interesting. And again, if you'd not known she was a Romulan, if that had been a big twist, cool. If she'd been imagine she was in all 3 seasons, and she was a reveal end of season 2 leading to 3. If it was a cohesive season arc, and she was our good friend and Picard's greatest ally, always working with him, and she insisted that her attaché, the lady we've already looked at, who's also Vulcan, also went on the mission with Picard. You could have such an interesting arc, and Michael Chabon just failed so hardcore in everything narrative pretty much in season 1. It's kind of remarkable. Actually, so it's a real interesting piece of television. Does she even share a scene with anybody? Or is it just literally Narissa?
Just Laris.
No, Narissa. Laris is the friend.
Oh, Narissa. Whatever.
Laris is the
just
good one.
Her. Yeah.
And then Riker via view screen in a terrible green screen set. Oh, God. I mean, gotta be a D. Again, don't hate her. She performed it well, but let down by everything around her. I actually disagree. I think that's...
I don't disagree. That's the problem.
Let down by... And a good character actress. I like her. I've seen her in a lot of things. Maybe not necessarily the most memorable things. Although she was in the original Babylon 5 pilot. And she got replaced. As many people did, of course, but... Yeah. Oops.
Her scenes were good enough, but I don't. Something about that final bit with her just didn't work for me.
Yep. Although you gotta wonder if they originally had the scene filmed for the Commodore. For Clancy, sorry. Yeah, then yes. Did they really put her through all this makeup, all this costuming, all this green screen studio working out to refilm that, or did they modify the Riker's dialogue to fit with her version with O, and there's more to that scene because it's kind of a flaccid scene. It's quite a lot. I mean, she's not going to be cheap. She's one of the most well-known actresses of that season, right? In terms of non-Trek alumni. Yeah. Yeah. Like I say, not at all disrespectfully, but I think D, because I think C just have more going on for them. Yeah. Yeah.
You said D?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that's all partially for just potential and lack thereof. And that said, if there was a Star Trek Legacy, I would be super down to see her as one of the main villains and give her a proper fleshed out arc. Because, like you say, she would have had an entire isolinear bay of all of the schematics for every ship in Starfleet, all the backup codes, all the redundancy, everything to give to the Romans. Like every 6 months is refreshing everything, so they have access to everything. And if she's been Commodore for 10 years, the Romans have had access to us for decades. I mean, I haven't even thought that. That's groundbreaking. They've been in charge of at least if you ever got captain, they had a captain in Starfleet for the entire time of TNG, pre-TNG because she's Romulan. I mean, Jesus Christ. So you think about it that way.
A lot of ramifications from that.
Yeah. Gosh. As if they write things and not realize what they really mean.
And Sussy Guru 2000, €5. The android slave that went on a rampage at Utopia Planitia. Yes.
Oh, the reshoots.
Fate. F8. Fate. I mean... Great android acting, I guess. I don't know. Love the name.
Great look, great vibe.
Creepy, still.
Yeah, that's okay. It's not exactly It's funny, if the role description is this and you serve this perfectly,
But where does it rank, though? Because, yes, it was done well, but... Whoa.
But, again, hard to believe that they would do slave labor. I know it's Time Dark Starfleet, but hard to believe all that stuff.
Hardcore racism against synthetics.
Yeah, everyone being mean. I mean, just that by itself. Like, it's one thing to have artificial labor force. It's another thing to be mean to them.
Yeah.
Very
un-Starfleet. Very well, I don't want to say Starfleet. Very open-minded. I don't know. Very unenlightened. There you go.
Which is part of the point of season 1, right? How backwards everything is and why everyone left. I mean, it's got to be C or D. Can't be higher than a C. So I'll let you place based on that.
I'll go D, just because of everybody else in D. It's sad that he's the same rank, same level as Narissa, or whatever her name was. Yeah. People were at the shipyard actually appeared to be civilians. I thought, yeah, that's why it's just changed it from Starfleet. Doesn't matter. Just the people of the future, humans, are supposed to be better, right? So.
And also, they should be Starfleet engineers, not Federation member world civilians. I don't know why you'd have civilians who aren't trained. Why wouldn't they all be in uniform doing engineering? Like, why wouldn't they all be... This is the
most... in the engineering corps, not be Starfleet. So.
But they'd be unlisted, which means they'd be in uniform. They weren't. They were in overalls. Like, they clearly weren't vibing. Like, I associate Planitia as being, this is just where O'Briens are working.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So, I guess they just didn't... I mean, that was obviously an additional shoot. I assume they just didn't want to pay for people in uniform. Don't want to pay for uniforms, but it's, But I guess it'd be harder to have the blatant racism or speciesism or entityism. He's not a species. If they're in uniform, I guess. But it's just oh my god, Stuart, because he's one being dumb? Wow, shocking.
What?
What? Yeah. Shocking. But let me add one into the pot.
Okay.
And there are so many season 3 characters and season 2 characters. There is the lady from the clinic. There's...
What about Jack?
Jack, yeah. But I am going to bring in, though, another legacy, kind of. The now dead... Ha! Not really. Unless he is. Not really. Q! As seen in season 2... who died in what feels very much like a reshoot, lost plot. We've not planned the ending. John Delancey in a great costume, trying his best, barely in it. Forget about him for lots of it. Q being Q, great-ish de-age-ish, and then dies in a great scene, and then comes back at the end of God and makes the whole thing confusing. What are your thoughts on Q? In Picard. Can't he? Still can't he? Guess you're Skype muted with the button. I guess press all the buttons then, because you're still muted. Can you unmute people from... No, you can't from... Okay, you got the mute symbol on the Skype. Weird. Ah, Fleetboard personnel in them. So many interesting characters. I mean, we've really had a really good broad spectrum here of people. I'm actually quite impressed with how many different people that we've come up with. And, yes, Bill. Q has silenced Stuart. Da da da. Oh, the drama. The drama! It'd be kind of new if the internet dying removed his ability to speak. What if his internet died? Crazy. But yes, guys, keep submitting more people. We'd love to talk, as there are plenty left of good, bad, and interesting characters. Who is the best? Well, yeah. Let us know. Let us know right now.
Can you hear me now?
Hi, Stuart. Welcome back.
Yeah, saying the same thing over and over again is not going to solve the problem, just for the record. I was working on it. The mute button was not pressed. Anyway. Yeah, it was great seeing him back. I love seeing the de-aged him, and I love the idea of Q returning. He's omnipotent, so I mean, whatever. The fact he died, the ending was really stupid. and then he's just back for season 3. It's like, okay, well, that was pointless. But not being non-linear, who knows what's going on with that? So,
although it vibes after season 2. I know, I feel like he approaches Jack. And the fact there's never a reason why he's dying. Just is. And it's not even... Like, you would think that could be an entire season of Star Trek, and Q is actually dying of natural causes. Let's solve it. Like, in the olden days, you know, one episode of TNG was just about he became human. That's the storyline. That's it. Antics.
Yeah.
So imagine Q, like, every day he loses 1% of his power, and he's dying, and he asks Jean-Luc to go on an adventure to help save him. Cool, there you go. That's a season. Yep, done. Plot.
Yeah.
Solved it. And by the end, they've got to do some cool thing, to do a cool thing, and Guinan's in it, because why not? And, you know, yeah, there you go. Tick. Solved. Yeah.
No, I mean, it definitely had a lot more potential than they used, but it was great seeing Delancey back. I think he still encapsulated Q. He had the kind of mean streak where he like snapped his fingers out in the by the record player.
That big snap effect, sound effect, like a different, as a more thump.
Yeah.
Puncher. But he's only as good as the material he was given, and was not given the best material.
Well, that's the problem with a lot of these that we've talked about. Because it's Picard, seasons 1 and 2. And also when he talked to him when they were being held by the FBI, that scene was just kind of not great. It didn't invoke Q to me at all. Kind of want to give him a B, honestly.
I'm fine with a B, but that's B for he's reaching at straws because his performance is so good. And he definitely shines in like 3 scenes, and he disappears for most of the season.
Yes.
He's way off an A, and he's way above a C, but he's in a really confusing B spot.
Yeah. And that's not his fault. It's
not
Delancey's fault.
Nope. Yep. They just didn't know what they're doing with season 2, and it was evident.
So for making it drag out, that was planned. Okay. Classic for real, $5. Bump up the Rainforest ship. Vatic. To proper S rank, please. First Trekyard Super of the Year from me. Happy New Year. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, we'll bump her up and throw on the arrow.
But yeah, if the sliding scale is Picard, then you could argue that she's higher up than she could be. You know, so there is some small negotiation there, but yes.
Yeah. Again, if her character would have continued on to be as cool as she was, kind of mysterious till the end, but it's just fizzled out for me. So.
Yeah, he was not, even though he was the center of the plot, he wasn't the center of the plot.
Yeah.
Oh. Alright, let's bring in someone else, because, as I said while you were away, really diverse set of people here. Really varied, really interesting.
Sesaguro 2005 euros. Please demote Admiral Hubris to F.
Oh.
Very nice.
The sheer fucking crazy.
You did just say I'll go to put the move down arrow on her now.
Yes. And I think it's finally time to talk about Jean-Luc Picard. We've sort of ignored him. Well, we haven't. You just haven't messed up about him. But Picard himself and his arc, because he went on a 3-season journey. So let's talk about season 1.
Oh God.
Picard. 1 second. Alright, season 1 Picard. So a depressed old man waiting to die in a chateau, and that was like the blurb on the season 1 Blu-ray.
Really?
No, but...
Oh.
But the fact you believe me, right?
I wouldn't be surprised. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, pathetic old man is right. Oh my God, yeah. It was a real goddamn letdown, is what it was, because Picard was one of the most perfect characters in Star Trek. The way they ended TNG with all good things, and then the movies. The movies got a little bit because he became action Picard, but yeah.
But at least he said "yeah" with 9 syllables. He gets to be French. He gets to be evil for one scene, one episode. He's very evil Picard.
Am I not sufficiently sinister?
No,
yeah.
You're not. He definitely felt, and now in retrospect, as if Patrick Stewart was so influential in the writer's room, he got to request things. He wants dark acting. He wants drama.
Yeah.
He wants a loving. Oh, no, he hasn't got that yet. He wants to be a mentor. He wants to have a friendship. He wants to have. He wants these things to play, which he did. Played them great. But then season 3, you've got an actual writer's room telling him how to act like Picard, and suddenly he raises up and plays Starfleet Captain Jean-Luc Picard, and the difference is astonishing. And season 2 he's just kind of wobbling about. It's just, and he clearly had more fun in season 3 as well. Clearly, it's one of those things that, you know, as a writer of Trek shorts, you as an actor and you as 4 actors want to give them meat, and meat is often acting dramatic, depressing stuff, because you don't often act that sad in real life. But talking about a war or a loss, it's really interesting to act, right? But it's not fun. Versus you get to have a really cool story about this. That's fun, like your episode of The Bird of Prey. It was cool and fun. You weren't that sad about it, but you got to these really cool things and zazz it up, and right?
Yeah.
I get why you want to, but it just comes across as an actor wanting to act versus a character wanting to live.
Yeah, it didn't feel like Picard. That's the thing. It felt very much like a different character. And I realize a lot of things happen in people's lives, but Picard's been through a lot. Like, Jesus Christ, come on. I would never see that character becoming that. The fact he called out the Federation and made some enemies, or a lot of enemies, in the Federation because of it, I can see Picard doing that. Unfortunately, we never really saw him doing that. It was just the after results of that, and he wouldn't have given up that easily, I don't think. So yeah, they definitely didn't do justice to his character, and it was sad and pathetic to watch. Sorry, it was just depressing.
And it's interesting because you really could have had your cake and eat it too. Have him be a twice a week lecturer at Starfleet Academy. He beams in full uniform. He does his speech, does his day, and we see him do it like a full part of episode 1, is it? And he has after hours meetings with students. And he's doing his thing, and he seems normal. He goes home.
Yes, I like that.
He has the lights low. He starts drinking his own wine or some other wine, whatever, and he's just sits in a room on his, he's just depressed, and he can't do anything except his responsibility to do the Starfleet thing, and everything in the chateau is running automatic. So he'll do his duty, but he can't be a person outside of it because he's too sad. And bam, you've got both sides, and that's fucking depressing and sad. But he's doing the Picard as well.
Yeah. No, that's yeah. Because that's what Picard would do. He would put on that strong face for everybody and do his responsibilities.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes might be a little bit different. I'd buy that. 100%.
The lowest of the low is still him doing his duty and helping others. The lowest of the low. Now, that said, obviously, in All Good Things, he was Chateau Man, but he was also ill. He had a disease that was affecting him cognitively. In Picard season 1, he wasn't. He was just old.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I've got to give him quite a scathing, because he's not a good character in season 1. But is he better than John Delancey? Because he obviously has infinitely more screen time in season 1. A lot of great acting. He has one awesome flashback, which I guess is, by my logic, is a different character. Really good flashback, and one good scene with Borg PTSD. Well, 2 scenes with Borg PTSD. What are you vibing? Because I'm B or C. This version of Picard. Others will vary.
V.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's one of the weakest characters in Picard season 1, and he dies.
Oh, that's the saddest part. That's the Picard.
I thought you said C.
I did. Oh. Sorry.
Fine.
Yeah,
No.
that's one of the saddest parts. Is that's the last we see of the actual Picard. Then he dies, and it's like, oh, okay, well, so is he just feeling better now because he's in a better body? We don't know.
Now he's a biosynth clone. Now, do you agree or not? Because that's kind of scathing to put the hero of Picard season 1, Picard, low board. Let us know in the chat.
Oh, you're asking them.
I am asking them. The fine, fine people of our chat.
Of the internet.
Of the internets. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Anybody else have any suggestions? Anybody from season 3? Picard, or sorry, Before Just Kids, 7 of 9. Jack. I mean, Jack was a pretty good character, I think, considered. So.
Yeah, we have people and places to go. So submit and we'll discuss.
Indeed. Let's see, what's the poll doing? How's that doing? Best Picard characters, 86% say the legacy characters.
Oh, that shifted.
Yeah. Well, as I said yesterday, and I've said many times before, I wish they would have started with season 3 and then got rid of the TNG guys slowly and then got us to like the new people. Because you just throw these new characters in our face with a pathetic, not Picard. It definitely didn't. It didn't work, you know. So.
Well, yeah, starting the weakest season first. Well, I guess you could argue that the TNG approach: start weak, get weird, and then do best. Season 3. But
sure.
TNG was more of an accidental, not so good. Season 1 felt more of a deliberate, not very good.
Yeah. Fleet Paw throws in $5 and says Tavine.
Oh! Hey, good shout. Do not know her name, but that's A-OK. 1 second. I love you in Trek for so little, and you get to go to conventions the rest of your life. What a gift, eh? This is, of course, the Vulcan bald lady from Picard Season 3, who's the science officer on the USS Titan.
Oh, yes.
And she was great.
Yes. We got to know her in way less time than any of the Discovery bridge crew. And we liked her. Unfortunately, she did die.
And a really genuinely shocking twist of who was going to die.
Yeah.
Which is very effective.
Yeah. No, she was great. Got quite a bit of lines, and like I said, was a likable character. So, yay. I mean, we got to know most of the bridge crew, or at least crew aboard the Titan, quite well, which was great. Like, definitely learned from Discovery.
Which is funny because we didn't, but we feel like we did. Like,
yes.
You couldn't name their names except LaForge, right? But that's not the point. I feel like I could know them and get their roles, and they had good casting, and they were good. Yeah, and commitment to her. She shaved her head, and you can tell she shaved her eyebrows. That was full hog. Depending on filming schedules, you wouldn't need to do that many days to film this role, right? But yeah, looked great in uniform. Very solid Vulcan officer, and I do remember there being a moment where it's not that many moments with her, of course, but where she's saying a science thing, and it's just so characterful. She owns it in a way that a Vulcan does, but not in a snarky, annoying way. Just like she's just in the moment as a Vulcan, like, yep, you got me. You are exactly this role. Well done. But is this partially now, as to scoring, is she also somewhat linking to the fate of does the role really well, or does she raise above that? What do you think?
I think she rose above it. they didn't do any disservice to her character. But I mean, for one season, to get to know her the way we did, and to be like genuinely shocked and upset when she died was, because yeah, she was one of our standouts when we were reviewing those. So somebody, oh sorry, go ahead.
Well, I remember when there was the Captain Shaw petition, she was right up there. Bring her too. Like it was very, and then she's like, yeah, I support this. It's like no, like yeah, I get murdered in 3 episodes. But then
Yeah.
she was all with that, right? Yeah, but I potentially come back.
Yeah, Fleetpaw. She was a Vulcan Deltan hybrid. Yeah.
Was she
Yeah,
actually?
she was part. Yeah, she was part Deltan.
Is it
Yeah.
just because bald or? Huh.
I was going to say earlier that she kind of had a softer vibe to her than a lot of
Yeah.
Vulcans, but I'd forgotten that she was part Deltan. But yeah, she absolutely was. No,
Huh. I would never have guessed she was a Deltan, but apparently the actress just said it one time, and therefore that's the reference. Huh. Yeah, in an interview she said it.
perfect.
Huh.
So yeah, I don't know where to place her here because I really liked her as a character.
It's sort of mean to place her next to Hugh with all of his depth and character, but she also impressed in a way that he just almost did. So it's like the is it impressive to go from literally 0 to so high, or to go from we already like him to you're dead decent? Like she climbed a higher mountain from new to there. That.
She's at least a B.
Yeah, I think she'd be a low B. I think she ekes into B for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rest in peace.
Oh, that's so weird, yeah. I hope she sees this and just likes her just being very nice, because you're up there with John Delancey, legend, and talk about 3 other major characters, and beats Picard. Season 1. Yeah, interesting shout, guys. But we have 12 minutes. Let's do some quick fire. Happy to do $2 for some quick fire characters. Throw them in. $1, $2, $3, whatever. We're here to rank, right? So throw in a few. We'd love to get 3, 4, 5 more. 2, 3 box. Great, cool, love it. And join tomorrow for the ships of Picard, and there are many actually. Yeah. Especially one.
Season 3.
And especially with if you include ships that are they're there technically, you can't necessarily notice them, but they're there, and therefore, because just obviously got the stone models.
And they all got shown on Twitter by Dave Blass, and they're highlighted,
Yep.
So really good designs.
Yep. All the wonderful credit of, wow, we got to appreciate it because you showed them to us. Crazy.
Yeah, it was a real blessing having David Blass sharing that stuff at the time. So
it was a real blessing.
A real blessing. That was good.
Thank you.
I'm very proud of you for that one.
As you should be. Yeah, a couple of $2, whatever. Get some more on the board would be awesome. Let's see who else we have in the prepared batch. Well, let's go there. Let's go Elnor from Picard.
I was going to pull him in if you didn't, because
it's good we talk about him.
Everybody's been mentioning him.
From Picard season 1. He is in season 2, of course. He's there. He dies. No, wait. Yeah, dies. And then back.
Yeah, well, yes, that's right.
So he is there.
Yes. Anyway, a genuinely likable, nice character that didn't make a lot of sense. He was in the wrong movie. People have been calling him Legolas, and I understand why. But no, I didn't have a problem with the character or the performance. I think he did well. and I would have liked to have seen more of him. It's kind of a shame he got like kind of phased out. But that's the other thing, like build the characters up and give them more in the later seasons instead of doing the exact opposite. So choose to live. Yeah, I liked Ulnar, honestly.
Well, he was a child. He was a child in a man's body. You know, brought up with warrior monks. He unfortunately he was the child that Picard never had. Is how they framed it, which could have had massive implications for the narrative. Didn't. A flat out murderer, and it's far more cold-blooded to stab people than to shoot them. So he's proper murderer. As in, like, way of doing it. And, yeah, it would have been so fun, which they did in Picard Season 3, because they thought it through. Worf had a sword with a phaser in it. Logical. Best of both worlds. So Velnor was a visibly guy with a sword, but actually had either phasers hidden throughout his jacket, like, think Blade, or, like, Neo, right? Or the somehow the sword would transform into a phaser, whatever, right? Like make it logical so he can actually do the thing, because any situation he'd get killed, any situation basically. So he's entirely super, like just the brief of him makes no sense. Yeah. Just conceptually he doesn't work. Great look, great guy. I'm really sorry for the actor because he's has such a poor legacy in Star Trek. It's unfortunate. I liked him in season 3 or 2, whichever. 2, where he's a cadet. Cool, sweet, like good. First woman in Starfleet. Cool, sweet, super. At least they've given him forward momentum, right? Cool.
Yeah.
But he's not forgettable, but he is illogical. Ha!
Who trained him? The Quat Malat? Is that the name of them?
Yes, Vash the baddies, Quat Malat the goodies. Fuck's sake. Bullshit.
I like the character, like I said. I just wish he would have been made more sense to the overall story. And he did feel out of place. Not only from his attire to his name to his look, it all just kind of felt a little bit wrong. And they definitely did him a disservice. So.
And what do you think if he'd had phases on him, like he's like properly armed, head to toe, and so any situation he could bring an appropriate weapon, he just happens to favour a sword.
Should have made his sword a lightsaber.
Well, I was thinking that as I said that, and that'd been a bold move. But it would have been actually cool if again, this is had they really thought about it. If he'd had like hidden phasers on his body under his costumes, but they're all like old phasers because on his planet they couldn't get new things. So he has like a Star Trek 3 phaser, a 6 phaser, Klingon disruptor, like a sawed-off shotgun version. You know, like classic weapons that we know that they've just salvaged because they're not a particularly rich planet. And each one has a unique twist, right? One is like a Romulan disruptor from TNG is more vicious. Klingon disruptor is longer range. Like that would have been super fun, right? You could really won the audience. I think he had a really great John Wick scene where he's running on a corridor and he's reloading a 2S power pack. Sorry, 6 phaser, and he's like Kirk Fuing and he's phasering Borg and he's doing double-handed phasers and everything's like, whoa, my god.
I'm going to give him a D.
Yes, I like the guy, but the character makes not a lot of sense. Very much like O, honestly. Kind of there's just a brokenness to the character structurally that is just hard to go against. Yeah. I think choosing to live still means I'm choosing to murder you. It's not really no. Yeah.
Feepaw, $2. Number 1 is was the bestest boy. Yes. Pitbull number 1.
And you're a dog.
What?
Well, there you go.
Which I thought would be a bigger part of the plot. No. They had a nice moment at the vineyard. You know, that was nice. I mean, and then totally forgotten about. Left your dog. Who's looking after your dog while you're gone? It's the future. They got kennels, I'm sure. But anyway, it's fine.
Well, he was definitely a request of Patrick Stewart, right? Can I get a dog? And they're like, yes, absolutely, John Luke. They gave him a dog. And luckily, Rose, oh, well, yeah, we can't. It doesn't make sense to have a dog in space, etc., etc. Right? Like that doesn't work. So they move forward.
D.
Yeah, you're a dog person. I'll let you.
No, I'm gonna put it at F.
Oh, okay.
As much as I love, yeah, it just didn't make sense. It was a nice idea, and if it would have kind of came with him, and we saw the dog again, even at the chateau, like we just didn't. It just disappeared. So,
just not a pet person. But it was weird not to have him like walk up to Laris in season 2, the end when they zoom out. Like, why wouldn't you have a CG dog just 15 frames going in at the end?
Mm-hmm.
Be cute, be nice, easy. Not easy, but you know.
Sasagura 2005 euros. Wesley Crusher. I barely know her. When I first heard that super chat, I'm like, he wasn't in it. No, he was. I forgot all about Wesley Crusher's little walk off the street in your street clothes to film this scene.
After Prodigy as well.
Yeah.
But they just released entirely odd-ordered. So they'd already... Oh, it's Carlos. Hello, Carlos.
Hey, how's it going?
Director Carlos of Unification. Hope you had
Thank you for stopping by.
Hope you had a good holiday vacation. Enjoyed introducing Sam Witwer. We had fun talking to him. He's a smart cookie. Do you want to read his chat?
This just popped on my feed and I had to stop by. As always, it's such a pleasure to watch your channel, Stuart and Well, thank you so much.
I look forward to your Unification 2. Or TMP 2. I hope you're filming the next one soon. Hint. Hint. And would you put yourself in the next one? Just see yourself in uniform? I felt you should. Although actually, what a great timing. Carlos just bumped in. They might have put Wesley Crusher in Unification. Because he's called Crusher. A guy in Nemesis uniform, and talk about Wesley Crusher the Traveller. Is that a hint? Because that's exact timing that, you know, there's a Crusher Unification. He directed...
Anyway. Back to Wesley.
Yes. Traveller.
Yeah. It came out of nowhere and seemed very tacked on. Now, having seen Prodigy and understanding what's going on with the character, yeah, it makes a lot more sense. But honestly, they could have done some kind of wardrobe or, you know, costume on this guy. Literally looks like he walked on the set and said, I'm here. They're like, oh, yeah, come film. Don't take you to wardrobe at all. They could have put a funky sweater on him like in Prodigy or something. But anyway, yeah, this didn't work at the time. It didn't make sense.
Well, it was really nice to see him structurally. Yay, Wesley. And it's a decent scene, but it's the we're taking this character who's a fourth variant of this actress who's actually pretty great. And she's the daughter of Sung, who's a clone? Was she a clone? I can't recall. And then, you know, all that stuff. And she's and you know they're just there for padding because they're in contract and like that's how it feels, right? It's very, you know, it's very cyclical, not necessarily structurally that important. And so he's there to take her out of the storyline so you don't think what happens to the character. Right?
Yeah.
We know they knew Prodigy, they cooperate in the scenes, so there's all connection, and as they said, they teased Prodigy content in his speech. If we watch it, it's all connected. If this had come out after Prodigy, they should have recreated his wardrobe from Prodigy. That would have been amazing. But if they'd done his wardrobe from Prodigy and this, it would have pulled away from Prodigy. So I see the, you know what I mean? If the reverse had happened, it would have been super cool. But this certainly it's the lower 5 version way around.
Yeah, I had completely forgotten he was in Picard until you brought this picture up, and I'm like, oh yeah.
And he's an exposition dump as well about all the different things, you know, because I think in that scene he talks about the TOS people and he's a connective tissue, all that stuff's in that scene. That's where it comes from, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, if it wasn't for Prodigy, it would be lower for me.
It does
And
help.
at the time, I was like, "What the? This makes no sense." But now, let's put him at a C.
C,
at
yeah.
least. Yeah.
I think C's fair. It's a single scene character, and it would have been, had they seen him other parts of the season, would have been cool.
Yeah, it was great to see him back. Like, I always wondered why wasn't Wesley in Picard? Like, that just makes sense, in some form. So.
Season 2, the season of... Huh?
Season of WTF. Classic for real, $15, $5 to demote Elnor to F. Okay. Wow. Harsh.
Oh. Hell no.
And to promote What's Her Face Romulan, played by Peyton. No idea who that is.
That's the lady in D. That's the
There's two ladies in D.
There is, but one's O, Commodore O. The other lady. Narissa. There you go. Which is a great name for a character, Narissa.
$10 to bump her.
To B. Okay.
Just despite everyone who thinks Elnor is a good idea. Plus, P.S. John Wick is overrated and ruined cinema. She's gone up to B, I guess.
And ruined cinema. Well, John Wick's only overrated if you think it's the best thing ever. So they're very strong action films with very strong action. Or very smart direction. Hello, Philip. Oh yeah, question, Stuart, since I got you live.
Oh, he was in Picard.
He was. We could have ranked his character if you had. Oh god, he could superhero his own character, couldn't he? No, don't do that. That's crazy. Yeah. That would have been hilarious. Question for you, Stuart. I was going to ask you at 2 p.m, but you weren't necessarily awake yet. What size is your friend's giant TV you watch Spaceballs on? How many inches is that TV, if you can recall?
86. 82 or 86, something like that.
Okay.
I think.
In the 80s.
What do you mean?
In the 80-inch something.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to... I wanted a point of reference how big that is to know something else. Thank you. Please do. But I guess that is the last one.
Yeah.
I mean, no TNG cast that were brought in. I had to bring one in. No Riker, Beverly. No one annoying looking at certain people in the chat said just the TNG cast. Just threw them in. No one even put Picard in. Yeah.
We had to put Picard in. It's only season 1 Picard.
This one needs a part 2 because I do not feel that board represents seasons 1, 2, and 3.
No.
There's so many characters that are worth talking about in this lineup that I feel like this has to be a part 2.
Everybody kind of laser focused on season 1 for this for some reason.
Which, in fairness, is across the board.
Yeah, but where's Girardi? There's so many other people you could brought in, right? One of the Rios clones.
Any of them, yeah. Tim Russ, yes, absolutely. Jerry Ryan. Yeah. This is definitely a part 2able because there's so many people that weren't mentioned that I want to talk about. And now with the board being filled, there's contrast to play, right? Yeah.
Don't super chat in now because we are closing out. So we will revisit this at some point and keep this board up. So
yeah, this one's worth
see what we've done.
Beautiful.
Anyways, tune in tomorrow, guys, for part 2 of this, which is Viewer's Choice Ships of Picard. There are quite a few good ones, so it'll be fun to talk about that.
And actually 2 Enterprise Ds, if you want to be specific. There's the Season 1 Chrome clone Vision, and there's the actual... Well, I mean, we're very technical. There's 2 different models in Season 3 as well. There's the crappy one and the good one. Technical.
So tune in for that, and
yes.
Thank you to everyone that super chatted and everyone that showed up. We really appreciate you guys, looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow as well.
Sorry, Benjamin. Be here tomorrow then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So until next time. Oh, we should end the poll real quick.
Oh, we should.
Best Picard characters were the legacy characters, 86%. Not a shock.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
And on that note, until next time, he's Commander Cockings.
He's got a voting.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.